I guess for Sports Cafe, we could do something like, and now for the thousands in attendance and the millions around the world who wish they could be here, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for Sports Cafe!
Welcome to the TAB Sports Cafe-ish. We're welcoming in from Europe, which is a largest place, so we'll get more sort of focus. We've got Leigh, Chris Luxon in Barcelona.
Buenos dias. Buenas noches.
Buenos noches. Buenos dias. And like some really seedy looking characters in a sort of, where are you, Marc? It's like a sketchy place in Crete.
Mate, I'm on a rooftop in Crete. I'm basically retracing the steps of Upham.
Charles Upham?
New Zealand. Sir Charles Upham. Indeed, I am.
Right.
BC and Bar. Did some amazing things in these here hills until the Germans pretty much captured them. But what a spot. Beautiful people here, the Greeks. Lovely coffee.
The Cretes.
The Cretians.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did you end up?
They are Greeks.
How did you end up in Crete? Can I ask?
Well, I had to get out of Italy. There was a bit of a problem. We got robbed. we actually had our bags, passports, everything flogged by these new migrants. I'm told by the police. They've got a gang down in La Spezia, which is where the Cinque Terre is, and I left it in a car in a park under a camera. Came back and everything was gone. So the New Zealand High Commission in London, man, hats off. Within 48 hours, brand new passports delivered to Milan, where I had to buy some new clothes. And then I thought, well, I better get out of Dodge, because I just wondered whether it was an inside job. One or two Italians don't like me that much.
So someone's wandering around with your passport?
Well, yeah, if they go through an airport, it won't be working any longer. And but there were a number of lookalikes too in the lower parts of Italy.
How are you going, Leigh, on your travels through Europe? Everything going well for you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much a man of Europe now. I prefer if you call me Santos or something. That's my new persona. I'm kind of like a Jason Bourne type character, I suppose, just traveling through Europe and just drinking slightly more than he would.
Fantos, did you say?
Santos
No, I thought you said Fantos, like as in the ginger. Like if you had hair, would it be ginger? And therefore Fantos of the Pantos.
Santos or 17 or something like that. Just something,
Yeah.
Carlos,
17.
Miguel Santos.
If you need some new, if you need some new passports, I've got some that I can send you that I got picked up in Italy.
Yeah, I've got a few passports I'm running. I had a great time in Croatia. Caught up with Lana actually in Croatia.
No way.
Unbelievably, I did. And
did you give any footage?
No, not really. Nothing we could use.
Didn't say anything to the camera.
Nothing. I mentioned Rick, and she started shaking, kind of stuff, and left. It's a lot of stuff she needs to unpack. I think the term they use nowadays is. But now, basically in Barcelona, in Spain.
Barcelona. Oh, mate, how did you go with soccer then, mate? That was a great result last night.
Oh, I was down there. I was down at the local square. Imagine what are the odds of timing that you're in Barcelona the night of the final?
Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, and so we watched it down the main square. It's incredible.
What was it like?
The party went on all night, of course.
In Greece, at the local supermarket, they had a big screen up, and it was full of geezers. So I went down there to watch it, and that was wonderful.
That's a good game.
I took off when the Spaniards got their second goal because it was getting a bit punchy.
You imagine what it's like here for the English fans.
Yeah, well, Pom's on
English
tour.
Fans here.
It must have been better.
I was impressed.
Hey, will you stop talking over everyone, Marc?
Sorry, what?
Will you stop talking over everyone, please?
Oh, I thought we were just having a discussion.
Yeah, but a discussion is just not you talking continuously. A discussion involves listening.
Well, look at this bloody technology you've given us, mate. I'm filming myself on the other side of the world off a bloody cell phone because that's the best you can do, whilst you lord it there. So far, we haven't been paid a cent for this.
What you're talking about me
That's
lauding
true.
it? I'm stuck in the middle of winter in New Zealand in a tiny little studio. You're sitting out there in Crete, stuffing your face full of grapes like Thaddeus.
Thaddeus, that's actually the name I will appropriate. No, I'd prefer to be at the beach, mate. But I'm here now doing this for you for nothing,
Yeah.
and you're giving me
And it's
arseholes
a
for just
weird
trying to
time zone as well.
contribute.
All right. Well, I'm just saying, listen,
God.
just listen, because I'm about to ask a question. Leigh, when
Yes.
what was it like when Spain, when the final whistle went in Spain with the European champions?
Good question, Rick. Shit, glad I waited for that one.
Yeah.
Fucking
Good
hell.
question, Rick.
Shut up.
It went
I'm
off,
about to ask a
obviously.
question. Leigh, what was it like
It
when
went
the
off.
final whistle blew?
Hold on. When I
think
asked
I've
Leigh a
got
question,
some
I didn't
footage.
want you to talk through it either. Like, let Leigh answer my good question. Right. Thank you, Leigh.
It was like the end of most finals, I suppose. They went off. Our hotel was just down the road on the main La Rambla, whatever the main strip. So that was like, Queen Street, I suppose. Well, no, it's not as shit as that. It's amazing. So it was like the place just went off, and you can imagine my hotel room looking over the chaos down there. I didn't get much sleep, that's for sure. Mainly because I wasn't in my room. I didn't actually get back here till about 6:30, I suppose, in the morning. They went off, partied all night, car horns, you name it. They know how to party.
Like a Ranfurly Shield challenge in Hamilton.
Right. Now, we've
Like the
actually...
bell at the bridge.
Yeah. Look, we've got to work on this talking over each other, because we've got it down to a fine art. And that's good. A little bit of silence when none of us talk works well as well. So we just get the balance right.
This show's a shambles, mate. Are people watching it?
I think what Marc's trying to say, Rick, is that it's easy for you back in the studio here. We're traveling the world, and people forget with travel how much travel's involved, and what a pain in the ass the travel aspect is, and logistically to pull. I thought we were doing this yesterday. I thought you were going to be crossing live to me during the final, so I'd make technology with me. It was stressed out.
It would have made a lot more sense. Mate, I was shocked. Of course it would have. And we'd have all been quite happy to do that. Then this day wouldn't have been screwed up by bloody doing this in the middle of it. We could have actually come to you live, seen, what you're trying to explain, been a part of it. I could have come to you live from, the tattooed Poms who were, lagerlouts across the road getting very upset with the second goal. It would have been a hell of a lot more accurate.
Yeah, I'm still getting invoiced the same though.
What's that noise? Who's
in the middle of our day to ruin it.
Is someone sort of got a vacuum cleaner or some machine? What's that noise? Who's got noise?
Oh, my neighbours are trying to break into a house with a kanga hammer.
Oh, that's okay then.
Yeah. Oh, shit, he's hit a bit of steel by the sound of it.
All right. Oh, that's good. That's not annoying at all.
I can go to the other side of the house, which has got a hill view. You like that?
Can't hear you. There's too much kanga hammer. When they stole your bag, did they take my credit cards?
No.
I've still got one.
Luckily, I've got the burner. Luckily, that was still in my pocket, so no problem. They stole all your camera setup, which is why I've got the phone sitting in a vase, a cactus vase. Looks professional, though.
I'm going to bring in a guest. I'm going to bring in Terry McFlynn, who's from Auckland City FC, the new football team in town, because he actually knows something about football. So he's going to explain to us.
Thanks, Rick.
Why? Well, I know you do. Well, you know the joie de vivre of football. Being in the middle of the Barcelona, but he actually knows who won. So
did you say joie de vivre?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Macca, what's going on now? Like, are they destroying the house?
Look, I got a bit of a break on the price for this flat, but mate, I'll show you what's going on. That'll do, yeah. They've actually got into the house and they're taking all of the belongings out. He's in there. Yeah. I might go around the back, mate. Sorry, mate.
Beautiful day there, Marc.
Yeah, it's a lovely day. Leigh, have a look at that. I mean, that's the local
Beautiful
beach. Yeah, lovely colours, nice and warm. Lots of squid, lots of Hathford, which is a lovely drink. And I've got a beer sponsor over here, mate. Have we got Steinlager on board yet, Rick?
Yeah, we got Steinlager.
Well, we have got Steinlager. Well, when I say on board, I mean I don't mean a couple in the fridge. We've actually got Steinlager as a sponsor.
Yeah, we're in talks at the moment.
Well, okay, until such time as those talks are concluded, I'm going into my house where I've got a sponsor, a local beer sponsor, called, I don't know whether you can read it, but Matholithus, which is a lovely drop. And the moment they heard that I was a Kiwi, they basically said that, well, look, we'd love to have you on board it. Doing a podcast. They'd heard of the podcast, funnily enough. And they said, well, any beer brand would be bloody stupid not to sponsor it. So, these, quieten down.
Oh, so you just gone inside, grabbed a beer and come back out to the same place?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
But look at that. Steinlager, that could be yours.
Right. So welcome, Terry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Terry.
So
All good.
you enjoyed the game this morning?
Yeah, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really a good spectacle, a real fitting end to the tournament, which was a really good tournament. I think Spain was very good throughout the whole tournament and probably deserved the victory in the end as well.
Because they've beaten everyone in this Euros, haven't they? Like all the top teams.
Yeah, they've done really well. I think the game against France, I think that sort of, for me, that was whoever's going to win that was going to win the tournament.
Who wins if Argentina play Spain right now?
If Messi's fit after his ankle injury this morning, Argentina. If not, Spain.
I've got a young lad who's crazy mad on the soccer. Like, he knows every stat about it, and he's half Argentine. So he stayed up last night until 5 o'clock this morning watching 2 games of soccer. Loves it. Of football, sorry.
So, Leigh, I know you enjoyed the celebrations with the Spaniards. Did you actually watch the game?
Oh yeah, I was in the fan zone with everyone else, and my son Sammy actually. It's full on. I was pretty impressed actually. There was a few English fans there, brave enough to get the flags and there, and it was a good vibe actually. I was going to I had get a sort of a Spanish scarf or something just to make out I wasn't English. It can be confused with English. Didn't really need to. It was a good vibe. And I think that was good sportsmanship. I saw the English at the end being pretty congratulatory, if that's such a word, of
It's
Spanish, and the
sort of
Spanish
a
being
word.
pretty humble. Yeah, is it a word?
Leigh,
Yeah. That was great.
Just. I mean, picking up on the earlier point, you do look incredibly like Luxon.
Well, it's been working for me while I'm travelling. Right now.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Well, that's the question. That's the second part of the question. Is where and how is it best sort of employed as part of your tactical rollout?
I'm staying in quite a good hotel at the moment, right? Which I just walked in and made out I was Prime Minister of New Zealand over here for the sport. I was also Minister of Sport, and they upgraded me into this the best suite in the hotel. And also worked pretty good later on in the evening as well when I got kicked out of a really sleazy sort of, I wouldn't call it a whorehouse, more like a strip club, I suppose.
Massage.
And so I didn't get kicked out of there. Chris Luxon did, if you know what I'm saying. So
yeah, I do.
It works both ways. It works both ways.
And the beauty of that is if you've got Rick's credit card, you can spend lavishly and they probably believe it's just on the taxpayer tip.
Well,
So
that's
they
right.
think
In many
you've got
ways
deep
it is.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
you need them at that time of night.
Sorry. Can we just stop? Look, I know Aaron, our political correctness advisor, is not here. He's at the moment doing some sensitivity.
Yeah, where is HP?
So he's doing some sensitivity training because head office called him because apparently being naked, covered in feathers and maple syrup is not part of his job description. So he's had to go through a sensitivity training program to reprogram him.
They didn't mind Chris Luxon covered in oil last night.
No, I should imagine they wouldn't.
So are you enjoing the show so far, Terry?
Fantastic, yeah.
You're welcome. What makes the Spanish so good?
Look, I think obviously historically they've been very, very good. They've won a lot of World Cups. They've won a lot of Euros. I think the youth system in Spain develops a lot of really good technical footballers. And obviously as they progress through the different age groups and into the senior group. That cohesion amongst the group, they stay together for a long period of time, and I think that again shows in the trophies that they've won over the years.
See, that's what a sports question and an answer is like, Marc. But that was a good question.
Do we have the ability to breed somebody who is of that upper echelon on the world stage, given the New Zealand system and the calibre of the players in New Zealand, or is it just an absolute pipe dream?
No, I think we do, Mark. I think, to be honest, what we've seen recently here in New Zealand, I've only been here for 6 months, so I think in the last 2 to 3 months we saw Alex Poulsen, goalkeeper from Wellington Phoenix, sign for Bournemouth in the Premier League. We saw young Marco Stamanic sign for Nottingham Forest and then be loaned back out. So in the space of 2-3 months, we saw 2 New Zealand players go to the Premier League in England. So there's a massive opportunity now for young New Zealand players, and that's part of what we're trying to do at Auckland FC.
Do we have a style of football that is a Kiwi style of football? I mean, are we abrasive, physical players? Are we fleet of foot? Are we quick? How would you describe the New Zealand soccer player as opposed to? Thanks, Leigh.
I think there's a real blend, to be honest, Mark. I think there's a big multicultural diversity in this city, especially in Auckland. So we've got a lot of the Croatian players, we've got a lot of European based, a lot of South American flair amongst the players that we've got. Ourselves, we've got 19 players signed for our club at the minute, 16 of which are Kiwis, 13 are from Auckland. So we've got a real New Zealand flavour, a real Auckland flavour to the team that we're building at the minute, and it's a team for the community, from the community. There's a lot of talent in this city, and the one thing they've been crying out for years is a professional team to develop the talent and take it into a professional environment.
And do you think Leigh Hart looks like Chris Luxon? What do you think?
I actually met Chris Luxon.
Or did you?
A few months back when Steve Corica, the head coach, and myself was here. We went to Halberg Awards and we met the Prime Minister then. A little bit, I think.
Was that you, Leigh?
He's a bit shorter. He's a bit shorter. No, that was him. He's short and a bit fatter. I'm a bit more sort of the sports mode, Hey, but can I just bring it back to the football? Bring it back to football for a moment. You talk about youth.
Yeah, it'd be great if you
about
did.
youth football, etc. If I could. There, the young guy for Spain. What's his name? The kid.
Lamine
Yamal.
Yeah, I mean, is he an example of that sort of great youth system you're talking about that they have to developing? Obviously, he's a freakish player in his own rights, but talented in his own rights. But is he a result of that system, do you think? Players like that? Because they're getting younger and younger, they seem.
He is definitely. And I think the one thing that young players need is a coach with courage that's going to play young players. And we've made it really clear here at our football club that young players will get an opportunity with us. So we've actually got 3 players that was away with the New Zealand under-20s at the minute in Samoa. They qualified tonight for the World Cup, which is a fantastic achievement for them. Unfortunately for us, young Ollie Middleton broke his foot while away. Finn McKinley, Adama Koulibaly, they played today against Fiji. They won 1-0, qualified for the World Cup. So they're, these are boys that are 17, 18 years of age that'll be part of our group.
It's fair to say that when we were all 16, we weren't really equipped to do much, really, were we?
Oh, Rick, you got pubes at 8.
How do you know? You've seen the photos.
You told me, and you showed me a photo. I mean, that's an HR issue. Well, it wasn't back then, but if you did that to me now, I'd be straight to HR.
He shaved them off at 58, though.
Yeah. Well, they were all grey.
Yeah. Can you stop looking at the cameras that I've got in my bathroom, please, Chris? Obviously dealing with the media is going to be...
It wasn't shaved either. It was veted. You know that depilatory cream? Don't leave it on and answer the phone. If you answer the phone, it'll take a layer of skin off as well.
That's our sponsor. That's a new sponsor.
Veet, yeah. Plums like fresh off the tree.
So dealing with the media is a big part of your job. Sorry, I'm trying to... You finished? You finished with your fascination with my pubic hair?
Oh, God. Oh.
Obviously not.
Oh,
Right. Okay. Well, look. Let's get a bit serious. Here's a story. One of Leigh's earliest pieces where he interviewed the Crusaders.
Last time we met in Wellington, I asked you when you're on the field for 80 minutes how you go about doing poos, and I realise now that was wrong and unprofessional to ask that question. To even be talking about poos at that sort of time of night, 8:30 time slot, I think we were then. We're on TV2 now, so I'm taking my job a little more seriously. And on that note, good luck this weekend. Thanks, mate. Cheers, mate.
Now, look, mate, one thing. I just think that, we take our rugby quite seriously here, and I just think that you should put some pants on, really.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm really just trying to make the people relax. They're a sport apparel.
Put some pants on.
TG speaking.
We had a couple of quiets together. I mean, it's 50 games, so I suppose you have to have a couple. You have to watch what you eat and drink these days.
Because I know what it's like when I was a younger sports journalist. You're really popular with the young ladies. I mean, let's face it, look at the state of some of the other guys. You're pretty much the love machine of the team, man.
Yeah, well, it's debatable between the boys. I mean, a few of the guys would sort of see themselves as, the number one good-looking guy on the team.
I suppose for me, the biggest thing is trying to catch those wingers, and I've made a word to Paddy O'Brien about maybe putting a motorbike on the sideline or something. Maybe that might help me out.
It's a good question, though. Yeah.
if I can bring this back to sport, what's it like reporting through to Ollie Williams?
Yeah, Ollie's been fantastic. Since we've come on board. The whole ownership structure of the club's fantastic, from Bill Foley, Ollie Williams, Anna Mowbray, and the rest of the board members. Everyone's very, very supportive. Everyone's really behind the strategy that we've got in place to make this football club something that this city's going to be really proud of and bring success to the Auckland.
Now, I don't know whether you've seen it, but I was driving past a supermarket the other day and I saw this huge Rolls Royce coming toward me, which does attract your attention. And who should I see sitting behind the wheel but Uncle Ali? So has he got a car park for RR1?
I haven't seen the Rolls Royce, to be honest. He does have an array of motor vehicles, which are beautiful.
A fleet,
yeah. But now, look, again, just from a professional point of view, he's been fantastic. He's been a really good sounding board for us in terms of building a culture here that is going to create cohesion, togetherness with the group, and really bring us all together to bring success to Auckland.
A funny thing, people don't really mention the cards there, Marc. Ali can't actually drive a manual. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, it's true. But and the other thing too is he's got that starlight moon roof in the Rolls Royce. You jump in there and you press a button and it's like you're looking at the stars. It just
Yeah.
Very lucky if you get a look at that. Very lucky.
Yeah, that's especially while you're driving.
Well,
you've got to have it on full recline, like a low rider.
Thanks very much for that magnificent insight, gentlemen.
Not the safest.
So you're still going, sorry.
One arm out the window.
There you go.
Basically staring at the ceiling with some of those sort of glasses on that make you look forward when you're lying down.
Yeah. You've got to be careful you're going past schools and stuff in the morning,
Yeah, you will get arrested for that.
Terry, thanks very much for joining us. Look, I'd just like to only apologise for everything that's happened for the last sort of 20 minutes. But all the best.
No, Terry, thank you very much.
No
Gave us a great insight.
Thank you, fellas.
Are you going to say thank you, Leigh, or everyone else has?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you. I thought you'd cut me off. Yeah. No, thank you. That was good. It's fantastic.
No
It's just so disjointed. It's quite hard doing this, Rick. We're sort of disjointed over here. I can see Marc there with the beer. I've got a beer. I'm tempted to challenge him to a boat race. Actually, here we can. What do you got there, Marc? How much you got left? What do you got left?
I've just cracked it. It's
we'll go to
Same.
Can you guys stop and we'll just go to our next story. We're going to go to a break, but before we go to a break, here's a little clue to our next guest. But that's just one man's view.
Hello, my name is Eva. from Bulgaria. That's my first time on a rugby training. And I just cannot understand why do these boys over there are fighting over a ball. I mean, somebody can give them like ball each. Look at that.
Holding the other man's what?
In the scrum.
Yeah, well, it's part of the job. It's something you got to do.
But did you like it?
I don't enjoy holding Oliver Brown all the time, but I'll get used to him. I've been there for 10 or so years with Hollow, so I think he's used to my hand all over him.
I've heard that you are a sex symbol. Are you a sex symbol?
Go on now. Hey, what was it? Sorry, what was it, sir?
Are you a sex symbol?
You mean no.
Welcome back, and joining us now, you know her name and you know where she's from, Eva the Bulgarian.
Yeah, I'm definitely from Bulgaria.
Yeah.
It's not because of Uncle Bulgaria. I want to clear that out.
How do you pronounce your surname?
Evgenieva.
Eva from Bulgaria.
Evgenieva. Yeah.
That's very good, Marc.
Perfect.
Almost there. Almost.
Now tell
Almost
me
there.
What
That's the story of my life.
You wish. What have you been doing since the show finished?
Oh, I've been doing quite a few things. Like I got a master's degree in investigative journalism because you always told me,
You got a master's degree in investigative journalism.
Yeah, because you always told me I'm a serious journalist and I believed you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that.
Well, you're the only one in this podcast with a master's degree. So I think that needs just Leigh. I think we should do the appropriate thing.
Yep.
With honors, by the way, I want to clear that out. I want to just say that it's with honors. So it's not just like, half. It's just all the way.
Masters with honors.
Yeah.
So I actually think that could be to our benefit because most successful podcasts are true crime podcasts. So we could sort of go and investigate a murder or something like that, get Eva to do that.
Yeah, or maybe we can investigate where actually Leigh is because it doesn't look like where he says he is.
No, it looks a lot like Ponsonby to me.
It does.
I'm going to prove it to you. I don't have a house in Ponsonby anymore. My wife got that. I'll show you. I'm going out on a balcony.
Your ex-wife or your actual wife?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ponsonby Road, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, geez, you're quite high up, aren't
Imagine
you?
last night this was going off with the football. That's La Rambla, the big thing in Barcelona. You probably can't see the church thing, can you, over there?
Yeah, you can see it, yeah. That's
Mate, you look like you're in the bush.
I can drop this phone, I think.
I'd actually prefer, Marc, if you just get further away from your camera, please. It was a little bit too close.
Fair enough. I rented a car yesterday and may have had a little incident under your name with your card. It'll probably come back, but it'll take a while. We went to a place. It was only for 4-wheel drives, and it wasn't a 4-wheel drive, and we lost the muffler and the whole underkit, really.
So
pretty much.
Basically, Chris Luxon and Rick Solizzo are in for quite a lot of damages and problems in Europe this summer.
Chris Luxon's minibar bill alone is going to be quite big.
It's not a minibar, though, is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not anymore. I got it upgraded to a maxi bar.
Oh, wow.
Maxi bar, exactly.
It's actually 4 minibars stacked on top of each other in the hotel room.
Or just the fridge where the mini bottles are actual size bottles.
That's just
the
called a fridge
of the mini bar and an actual bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, Eva, welcome.
500 mini bottles.
Thank you.
Can you tell us how you ended up in New Zealand from Bulgaria?
So I came here because my father was here and he was invited by his brother. And his brother was here because of, I don't even know why, but that's how it worked at the time. You had to be invited by someone to be able to come over. Yeah.
So when you were in Bulgaria, when you were growing up as a young Eva the Bulgarian,
they didn't used to call me that.
Did they?
No, it was Eva Evgenieva. Bulgarian just came later.
But was that during, obviously, the communist years where things were pretty tough and everything was grey and there wasn't anything to do? Was that what it was like?
Yeah, it was pretty strict and we were not allowed to travel or anything like this. Yeah. like once you're out during communism, if you're basically betraying the country and things like this, so you couldn't travel.
So
Only if you are a sports team can travel, or politicians.
If you
or,
had if you had a bag with 100 spearmint leaves in it, what could you get with it?
What?
You know the spearmint, the lolly, like 100 wine gums. Like if you had 100 wine gums and you went around the neighbourhood, what could you get for it?
I don't think we had those, Mark.
No,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it would have been an absolute bloody rarity.
that
I
would
reckon
have
you
been
could have
like a
swapped it for car.
Christmas. Yeah.
What about Levi's? Were they much sort of everyone want Levi? Could you buy Levi's in Bulgaria?
Only on the black market.
Right.
Yeah, and I remember there was a girl in my class that had Adidas tracksuit because her father was driving the national soccer team, I believe. So she had this tracksuit that was Adidas, and I was like, oh wow, I wish one day I can have tracksuit like that. It was something incredible.
So
Sounds weird.
I've got a photo of Rick wearing some of those short shorts, Levi's short shorts.
The denim shorts.
Denim shorts with but they've got a rough cut with the little tassel hanging off them.
The frayed.
Yeah.
I think you have a lot of photos of Rick, Mark. Lots of photos of Rick.
The pockets actually, the pockets hang out underneath the fray. That's how short these shorts were on Rick. This was when we were in Treviso in Italy.
You got to put one of your testicles in the pocket because it can't fit.
Yeah, well, either that or they're going to drop at the bottom. That's how short they were.
I don't know what to say.
I've still got them. I still wear them.
I've still got the photo.
But I only wear them in summer.
Until the day I die.
I'm not wearing them in the winter. And so, do you remember how you ended up on Sports Cafe, Eva?
Vaguely, but I remember that when I did the audition, the test, I remember that like previous couple of nights before that, Marc and Ben were trying to tell me this like really, really bad joke in a bar.
Yep, the human cannibal.
No,
I don't.
So basically what happened was I sent you and the human cannibal to interview Eva to see if she was, possibly going to come on the show. And
on camera?
Yeah, and Ben told her a joke, and halfway through the joke, Eva said, "That's the same joke you told me when you tried to pick me up in the bar on Saturday night."
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. And it was just as bad both times.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt, and let's not call him Ben, let's call him the human cannibal's mind, that he is one of the world's greatest and most gifted lovers. So, in many ways, you dodged the bullet. In many ways,
generous lovers.
Yeah, most gifted and generous.
And then
I think those two words.
I asked you to come back, Marc, with all I asked was for Eva to say on tape live from left field, and she said live from Levin, and we signed it.
Yeah, it was perfect. I just can't get the thought out of my mind of Rick in those short shorts. It'd be like putting effectively a sock over a turkey's head, and you've just got the giblets hanging out the bottom. Whew.
Yep.
Thank you for the visual,
It's a bad
Marc.
mental image, but it's a podcast, isn't it? So
it works beautifully on a podcast, doesn't it? Like people would be listening as they're going for their walk right now, and they're going, "Oh yeah, that's what it looks like with a turkey and a sock over the
with basically one of those socks that just comes up over the top of the shoe, just over a turkey's neck. You've got the giblets hanging out. They're 58-year-old giblets that have been beaten.
I'm glad you're saying I'm 58.
So if you're standing at the beach, someone might say, "Hey mate, your giblets are hanging out."
Your jibbies are. Hey, tuck your jibbies in the pockets.
And I just like to apologise to everyone that is going. Everyone that is going for a walk around the waterfront just at the moment, listening to this podcast. With that image,
put your giblets back in.
Yeah. If you could. Put your giblets back in. And one of the highlights...
Put a peg on them and sort of hitch it up your back. Peg them and wear a necklace to hold them tight.
One of the highlights of your time with Sports Cafe Eva was...
That'll make them really hot and sweaty. They'll be sticking to your leg like a bat wing.
Was when you launched our America's Cup Challenge. We put our own America's Cup Challenge in around 2000, I think it was. We had Jimmy Spittle as a skipper. Team Bulgaria. So here's just a reminder of that.
As you probably can see, we are so excited. We are so thrilled, waiting for our yacht to arrive. So here we are with Bruno, and we're gonna welcome our beautiful boat into the world of boating.
Okay, ready?
actually, you might notice that we were the first team to take our skirts off so the people can see what we have underneath.
So that was Bruno Troublé, who was the head of Louis Vuitton Challenger Series, smashing a bottle of champagne that didn't break on our boat, which is apparently bad luck.
Oh, that's why it's
Bad luck. But you've also got to have a woman smashing it on the boat, don't you? I mean, what's a guy doing that job for? Apparently it's the job of a lady to smash the bottle on the boat.
Well, as we're not sexist.
Nowadays, anyone can do it.
Yeah, anyone can do it. You know, we're quite comfortable.
He shouldn't, in all sincerity, a guy is not allowed to christen a boat. That's why it's preposterous. I mean, you ask any salty sea dog, they'll tell you a guy can't christen a boat.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry for offending you, Marc.
Certain things.
I don't know if you knew
standards high, Rick.
I don't know if you knew this, but growing up in Bulgaria, Eva was a fine young gymnast. Is that right?
Everyone does gymnastics in Bulgaria, really. I wasn't a gymnast per se, but everyone, like, that was what girls did, gymnastics, and boys did soccer.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It was
really.
Compulsory.
Well, it's cool you do that, yeah. Just like here, girls do netball.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Were you very good at gymnastics?
Well, honestly, no.
Oh.
Not particularly.
No, but you on the, it's not the, what's it called? The beam. The beam was your strength, was it not?
The balance beam.
The beam, Rick. That's all it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's called a balance beam to people who can't balance on it.
You don't see a lot of guys doing the beam because of the giblets.
No.
You know, if they end up.
What was your best event in gymnastics? You didn't have one. You didn't have a very good one.
No, not really.
Just the mat.
Yeah, just the mat. Just it's the school mat.
What about rhythmic gymnastics with the?
My one of my daughters does that actually. Yeah.
Your daughter does rhythmic.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah. She does all that.
So you're a rhythmic gymnastic mum. So you go to
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like showing dogs, really. With I for some reason have drawn that corridor, but the showing of a prime pedigree dog in such a tough environment, with other people who are so tenaciously involved in the breeding and the grooming and the whole, it's a very big thing. Isn't it?
You're doing your best to dig yourself out of this hole, but you're not really doing it. We're all just listening to you try and get out of this hole of where you've equated rhythm gymnastics with dog showing. But
yeah, well, look, mate, you haven't owned a dog, a pedigree dog, right?
And what's that got to do
people
with?
who are listening and watching? What's that?
What's that got to do with giblets?
No, gymnastics.
Well, dogs. I mean, a well-groomed dog and a well-kept dog, particularly when they're newly shorn, they run. The giblet is one of the classes that they're actually judged on.
Yes, and you can feed your dog giblets as well.
Well,
no, not a dog.
There's quite a lot of editing to go in this show, which is good. So I'll try and just move nice little segue into our TAB bets now.
The worst thing I saw at one of those show events, and this is, I think, and it made a mockery of the whole.
I'm trying to get to our TAB betting segment.
Shut up. I went out with a girl who was into dogs, right? And so I had to go to one of those dog events, and I went to the dog event, and she was showing her dog, and which I had to show some sort of a modicum of interest, and I had none at all. But there was the bulldog category, which I thought, I quite like them, like little French bulldogs, and even up to English bull terriers. And this dog came out, and it was impeccable. And for me, I mean, the way it was built and the shape and the way it trotted and the way the owner walked with it was all impeccable. But it had a chunk of Chubb dog roll plastic hanging out of its ass. And halfway through the walk. Through the walk, it dropped.
Marc, sorry, can I?
The dog did scratching. No, the dog, it had been poorly fed, and obviously, you can't do that to a pedigree dog, and the plastic, and they don't have thumbs, so he couldn't grab it and pull it out. So it just dropped to the carpet and started trying to scratch it off mid-performance, which I thought was the absolute highlight.
Oh, yeah.
We broke up over that.
Right.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, well, thank you for that. That kind of story. That was.
Imagine a dog show, Marc. Imagine a dog show. You have a category where dogs with worms just pull themselves across the lawn. I'm like a timer. It's called the 50-meter worm sprint.
You finished with your worm story?
No, we're not. We're quite enjoying our little chat. Can you guys give us some time?
So,
well, it's not worms. It was the plastic dog roll. He'd eaten, obviously, he's so hungry. He'd been training and being prepared for the show that he'd eaten the entire chub dog roll, including the plastic.
Right, thank you for explaining that.
Obviously grooming the front of the dog and ignoring the back.
Yeah.
If you pulled it, it'd be starting it up like a motor mower.
like an outboard.
Look, I'm trying to get to somewhere here.
This shit would just fly right out.
And it would have taken off around the crowd, just biting everything.
Right. Thank you.
Okay,
so our TAB bets didn't go too well. We did. They didn't have a dog show a chance to bet on any dogs, but we did. This is quite a difficult job to do today. We bet against we bet against the All Blacks and we lost that money.
Just shut it down, Rick. Shut it down.
No, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there.
Go to titles.
No, I am gonna get there.
Shut it down.
Right.
Did you shoot the half point?
No. He's been. I said he's been called back to sensitivity training because apparently the feathers that you used were from an indigenous bird, and so that was really unfortunate. So he's been called back to head office for some sensitivity training.
I have some questions about that, Rick. I wonder where is the glitter and the feathers came from. If it was only the two of them. Where those feathers and glitter come from?
Marc travels with glitter and feathers and maple syrup.
Admittedly, being in Greece, I've got a sack of the pair of them, and they'll be employed at some stage during this trip. I can assure you of that.
Right. Now, funny you should mention the TAB bet because we bet against the All Blacks, and therefore we lost our money. I thought it was a good idea to bet on Wales beating Australia. And lost the money there. But the good news is we bet on Spain to beat England, and so I think I made about $3. So
do you want me to do the next one, Rick? Do you want me to run the next bet?
Yeah, I might give you a call because you probably, I've lost most of our money so far. You
can't go any worse, can we?
Well, I have got some money on Queensland and the state of origin. Are we comfortable with Queensland and the state of origin?
Yeah, I am. Yep.
With your permission, Rick, I might put a couple of bucks on. There's a local greyhound track down here in Crete. They run pretty slow because it's so hot, but I'll just chuck a couple of bob on a dog.
Right.
Nice. I like the dogs.
Yeah. Well,
particularly number 2. Always the blue and white hoops. If they're paying between $5 and $10, put it on the nose. And if you lose, keep putting it on the nose. If 2's paying between 5 and 10, and you'll come out a winner. There it is.
Thanks.
Gambling advice from
thanks, Uncle Marc. Now I've asked everyone each week to come in with something that they made them feel good this last week. Leigh, you're obviously was enjoying the Spanish victory in the Euros.
Look, I'll just quantify that. Thanks to Sports Cafe and stuff. I've actually travelled the world a lot doing sport, World Cup stuff with you, Rick. Lost a lot of World Cups watching with you. Olympics, I've had a lot of great experience, but I'm always kind of working, more or less, you know what I mean? And it's really fun, but you're never quite engaged entirely in what's happening. You're thinking, how can I film this? How can I do this? What are we going to do after? Whereas last night was great because I just watched, one coach who really just so passionate about it and just felt a little bit of a part of that without having to worry about filming it or, doing an interview or a live cross or something until today. And I'm now talking about it. But that was great. So it's just good to be part of a world sporting event and not have to worry about doing anything at it, and watching the passion and the sportsmanship, really, which I didn't really expect. It was great.
Yeah,
in many ways, it reminds me a lot, Leigh, your current situation or mental headspace of the human cannibal when we sent him to the Hong Kong Sevens. he
Well,
was,
yes.
charged with some pretty, arduous responsibility in terms of what he should turn around and produce. And he came back with about 30 seconds of being completely shit-faced and falling down a flight of stairs dressed up as a human cannibal.
Yeah,
But
that
that's the
was.
essence of it. That's beautiful. It's art.
And that is the beauty of it. Rick didn't want to show that. He said, no, this is a disgrace. And I said, mate, seriously, you couldn't. That's what New Zealand wants to see. It's just like you
Marc,
give a guy a chance and he absolutely blows it.
That's on a comparison with our trip to Vegas. You, me, and Rick, we went there for 4 days for the David Tour fight and came back with probably 40 seconds worth of footage.
No.
Put a psychedelic Beatles song behind because it's nothing usable.
We interviewed people
wearing horse heads and bear heads, animal heads up in the stand.
Yeah.
It was that was one of the most traumatic moments of my life.
And we interviewed people in the departure lounge at the airport. That was where we did the interview. So that was successful.
And I had to urinate in the back of a police car, in the back of a taxi out in the desert because the police pulled us over, Rick. Remember that?
No.
Then I came out of the Bellagio Hotel and jumped onto the back of these big lions that are sort of like a concrete plinth. And like everything in Vegas, it's made of plastic. And I slid straight off into the foyer on the back of this lion that was about the size of a horse. And then got chased out by security guards. Never trust Vegas. Be careful. Be very careful if you go to Vegas.
And
I think the original Hangover movie was based on that trip.
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh,
now,
strange,
also, Marc sent us in some video of what had really sort of made him feel special this week. So this is a camp where wives go to vent out their anger towards their husbands.
Yeah. And look, I think we've all been there, and wouldn't it be nice if they could just vent their anger in a constructive manner such as that? As the Prophet Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind.
So,
that takes me back.
It takes you back.
No,
where does it take you back to?
I think it's an incredibly powerful thing. It's an incredibly powerful thing.
Well, mine's a little bit more empowering. I found this where they managed to.
How's that not empowering?
What?
How's that not empowering? I mean, look, women actually, letting their emotions out. So often they bottle it up, and then they'll go to bed and they'll just pass a little comment onto you to make sure you sleep poorly. Just let it out. Just whoosh, let it out. That's. I think there was some beautiful sentimentality in that.
I think that video's.
If you can't read between those lines.
Well, I think that video says a lot about you as a person, to be honest.
Mate, if I had you being my psychologist, I'd be completely fucked.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. My video was a combination of soccer, football, and disco dancing. It's called Disco Foot, and it's big in France and Sweden. And basically the idea is you've got to dance the whole time. So the whole time the game's on, you've got to dance, but you've also got to play soccer at the same time. So I just think this is a celebration of life, a celebration of expressing yourself.
So, but that music, you can't dance to that music either. That's one of the issues.
Why can't you dance to that music?
Well, because it's from 1980.
Well, everyone dances the stuff from the 80s.
Yeah, but not that shit. I mean, the good stuff from the 80s, Gloria Gaynor.
Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive.
Oh, jeez, you need to, mate, after that. Christ almighty, if you keep playing that, I won't.
Right.
Dreadful.
Dreadful. What's next for you, Leigh? Where are you off to next?
Yeah, another day or so here, then up to Germany.
You're full.
Yeah, and then maybe down to Spain.
You're in Spain.
Yeah, well, that's where I am now. It's actually, I know. Look, my travel agent needs some sorting out, but got me here for the Euro final, which was it's more my doing, I suppose, but a bit of a fluke. But no, I'm just playing by ear, Rick. Just trying to find myself, lose myself, and find myself again.
Good.
Then lose myself.
And what about you, Eva? What are you up to over the next few weeks?
Nothing as exciting as what those guys are up to.
Yeah, a lot safer
because you
though.
never give me the credit card. Never.
Do you want a credit card?
Come and join us over here.
I know.
I think between Chris Luxon and
Danny DeVito.
Chris Luxon and Danny DeVito. That is exactly who I'm looking at this moment on the screen. That is perfect.
Beautiful.
And what about you, Danny?
Beautiful.
What are you up to next week? Marc.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Oh, mate, I'm on my way to Marrakesh. I'm on my way to Marrakesh. All aboard the train. I don't know, mate. But
Are you
Marrakesh,
literally?
I've had a calling. Well, I've had a calling. I've got to stay seaside. And eat good things and drink good things and, enjoy wonderful company. And then occasionally dip into this madness for an hour and keep on moving. One foot in front of the other. You've got to take a lot of inspiration from being here in Crete, where Sir Charles Upham, amongst other things, earned a VC.
Yeah.
Right. And if you don't know,
Life of the Stoics.
if you don't know who Sir Charles Upham is, get online.
Shame on you.
Know your history. Very important man.
Yeah, but he's the greatest ever New Zealander, whether or not you believe in war or, what he did, what he managed to achieve.
Yeah.
Read a book called Marc of the Lion. If you read a book called Marc of the Lion.
That's the original one, isn't it?
Yeah. And I know.
Yes,
Tom Scott's book's good as well.
Yeah.
Tom Scott's going to do the bloody movie on it, but he's got to hurry up.
Yeah, we need a movie.
He keeps saying he's going to cast me in it, but he never does.
Well, you're going to be Charles Upham.
Yeah, he told me the same.
No, I wouldn't be Charles Upham. He said this when he was talking about doing the Hillary movie. I wanted to be Sherba Tenzing. He said I wasn't quite right for it. I said, okay, it's weird. And then the Upham movie, he's got me as one of the old generals now, one of Upham's Freiburg or someone.
Superiors.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, no, good show.
So,
well, Tom, if you're watching, for fuck's sake, mate, you've been yapping.
Yeah,
and
I know he talks. He put your money where your mouth is. Get me and Marc in there.
I reckon, looking at it now, there'd be a great movie with the two of you called Twins. I can see it. And going out tonight, we had a guy come on the show, Donovan Frankenreiter, and it's fair to say that he wasn't that well known in New Zealand. He did this song, and 2 days later it was number one. One of the great moments on Sports Cafe. It doesn't matter anymore.
Everyday people like you and me just wanna live naturally. And time told you, you told me, nothing gonna get us down. Can't you see? I said, if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. If it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. Because there's people all around making sounds and all kinds of noise. If I could only get there, then I could enjoy who they're trying to be, who they're trying to fool. Let's change the mood right now. Turn down the lights, it's time to cool it down. I said, if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. No, 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 no. If it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. I'm gonna tell you why. Because yesterday and what we could be don't matter. We're getting more of what we don't need. Don't matter. Everything unless I'm with you doesn't matter to me. I said it don't matter to me. You know it don't matter to me. I said it